Welcome back, everyone, to episode 9 of the Can You Survive 25 challenge. We have went to November. As you can see, our cotton field is ready to harvest, so we're currently starting to pick this. Kind of go over what else has went on since we left. We went through the summer months. Did our silage every 2 months. We've already picked our silage for today. I've sold all the silage that we've had and all the wood that we had stored up. So you can see we have over 800K today. Thought I'd get to a million. I probably would have, but our constructible garage, I filled it full of all the supplies. So there was some wood I didn't sell, and I spent about 100K in concrete supplies to get that thing stocked up. So hopefully it'll be built over the next few months to a year. But we would have been close to that million if I wouldn't have spent that money, which is fine. Those constructibles are kind of crazy. I don't quite understand what Giants was thinking making them as expensive as they are. That, and just looking at garages, there's just not that many. Hopefully that's something that comes to mods. Modders get a hold of that and give us some better looking options, because frankly they're just, the garages really don't fit the theme anywhere. It looks like maybe they're from the Zelonka map, but they are what they are. Expensive. But it is part of this challenge that I want to do. I want to have a constructible at every farm. So what I'm hoping to accomplish today is get both this field and that field over there harvested, get the cotton off of them. We're gonna we still need to buy a cotton trailer. We haven't bought that, so we can haul the cotton off of here. I'm going to buy the rope factory. I want to at least get a bale or two into the rope factory today, because we do need rope for the playground. The playground build we're doing, it's held up right now by rope. So we'll get the rope going. We'll probably put down a spinnery too at our farm and get a bale going in there, because it's going to need fabric as well. So that's kind of the two big things. And then probably I've seen a lot of rumors. I was reading a few rumors that you can get a fifth cutting of silage if you plant in November. So we're in November right now. Normally you would just be done for the year and wait till next May to get your first harvest. But if you replant your grass fields in November after you get the cutting off of them, they'll be ready to harvest in March. So essentially you're getting 5 cuttings a year off of silage. So I want to test that out. So I'm probably going to plant all my grass fields back to silage. I also think I'm going to, well, I know I am. I'm going to sell off our old cedar because of that. It's just too small to be planting them big fields. I want to get a new planter or a new cedar. So we're going to kind of walk through this money fairly fast, even though we got quite a bit. But as of now, yeah, the money's coming pretty easy. It's I don't know whether I should kick it up to hard or just enjoy it as it is, because we still need 2 other farms built. We've got to pay back our loan. I'm going to pay back the loan before we start the second farm. So I'm going to get that paid back, start paying it back. I did some math. It's a little crazy on if I want to keep the rope factory busy and a spinnery busy, so that the spinnery can feed a tailor shop. You're talking I need to produce something like 30 bales of cotton a year. So this will be a good test today, just to see how many bales we get and what does 30 bales of cotton look like. I'm imagining that's quite a few fields of cotton to be able to get 30 bales of cotton per year. And maybe maybe I don't even worry about it, but it seems like a worthwhile goal to go for. Now, part of that is I'll probably eventually get rid of my silage fields here, just take a break from silage as we start getting into the second farm. I've got it in my head, my second farm is going to be based around a cannery production, but it's also going to have probably a full-size sawmill and a cement factory so that it can supply everything needed to build the grain elevator museum, because I do want to provide all the products for that. So that's kind of my thought process there. But my third farm, I'm thinking I kind of want to own the BGA plant, the big one. And if we're going to do that, silage is going to be a big part of what we send to the BGA plant. So it makes sense to, take a break. You're going to do a lot of silage again towards the end of this series with Farm 3 and a BGA plant. And we may have animals in that one too, so that we can also send manure. Send manure and slurry over there to the BGA as well. I'll have to look at that. I do believe that BGA is not a divided, meaning that it can run all those products equally. It doesn't cut down the production of one or the other, so it makes sense to do that. I know the cannery is that same way, so I'll probably supply as much to the cannery as I can, all the different crops, outside of the root crops. I haven't done the beets, the carrots, the parsnips, stuff like that, but from what I've seen watching other YouTubers, it's a nightmare. So I probably skip the root crops, provide everything else, which also will require a mill. We'll probably just buy our own mill and place it on our farm, our second farm. That way we leave the other mill open in case we want another farm, or the other farm needs a place to sell products. So as I said before, most of the time I'm going to try and put down our own factory over using the map one, just so that our second and third farms still have access to those factories. I haven't decided on the rope factory though. I'm not sure if any of them really need the rope factory going forward. They shouldn't have to send something like cotton or anything over there, so I'll have to look into that more. But I think as of now we'll probably just buy the rope factory, not to mention it's literally right next to these two cotton fields, so it makes sense. And I guess at that point the other facilities, you can't buy rope from them. That's the only thing I'm thinking of, is they might need rope for a constructible, but that can be bought at the warehouse, or they could put down their own rope factory. So we'll probably just buy this one for now, but that's just kind of my thoughts on that, where we're at. Still working on the playground. Like I said, we've got all the regular planks up there. We got all the long planks up there. We're probably getting close to halfway on having all the wood beams up there. So wood-wise, we're well ahead. Now it's just, once we start getting this cotton going, we can start running rope and fabric up there, and we should start seeing some progress on the build of the playground, which is one of the ultimate goals of this series too, is to get the playground and the grain museum built. So we're still working on it. But as I said, I don't know if I'm going to keep the rope factory fully busy with cotton all year, or if I'm mainly just going to use it to to get everything we need for the playground and possibly, you know, a little extra. You know, like if we have extra bales that the spinnery can't handle. It seems like when you're doing the math, the spinnery turned into the tailor shop and then selling clothes is a much better return on your cotton investment than if you were just sending that cotton over to the rope factory. So we'll just have to play it by ear, see how it goes, see how many of these fields we get for now. But I do know I need a bunch of rope for that, so we are going to get, like I said, we're going to get rope going, and then after that we'll see about if I want to keep going year after year with it. And it may be a case that we end up selling it at some point and just going down to a spinnery, or even adding more spinneries and more tailor shops, and send all our cotton that way once we no longer need the ropes for the playground, which also makes sense to buy this existing building. You can see the rope factory right over there, rather than putting our own down on our land. So we'll see when we get there. I think I'm just going to finish up these headland here, and then I'm going to turn it over to an AI worker, and we'll run up, get the trailer bot for this, do the cedar, maybe get started, get an AI worker started on that. I also want to plant trees today. Those 2 oak trees that we planted, that I was questioning whether or not they would come up as oaks, does look like they are coming up as oak trees. So I'm thinking we might as well go ahead and plant the rest of that. If I can get an AI worker to work here, let's see, switch this. There we go. See where the dummy's gonna go, but it'll probably go up halfway and start somewhere. Okay. Now I've left our tractors up here. Like I said, we're gonna sell this one. It's fine, and on the no cultivation, but it's too narrow. It takes forever to plant, and we can't fertilize at the same time. So if we are going to be replanting our grass once a year, I'm just we're going to go ahead and get a bigger one. So it's kind of my thought there. And the one I'm looking at, let's see, well, we probably should look at the used sales. Like if you've seen last episode, we installed the mod that gives us more sale prices. Definitely could use another one of these, but right now I don't know if I want to spend the $219. I'd rather get those factories going. We're gonna replant cotton in the spring, so I'd kind of like to have any excess cash then to buy more land to get that done. So I think I'll hold off on buying another harvester for right now, but we'll definitely end up with at least 2 cotton harvesters. But yeah, it doesn't look like I see the cedar I'm looking for. The one I want is this Bedner Omega. It's expensive, but I think we'll go with it. I'm not sure if we need the tire roller. Guess I'll leave it on there. Track loosening tines. Sure. I do want the biggest tank we can get. But yeah, this one's twice as wide as that other one. Plus we can fertilize at the same time. So it just makes sense to cut our time in half with this big one. So I'm gonna go ahead and Buy this. And I think we'll use the New Holland on it. Save the Massey down there to... And I've got some seed and fertilizer sitting here ready to go. The one thing I don't like about this seeder, if I remember right when I did use it, it's like you have to unfold it to fill it. Don't quite understand why that is, but let's see if I can get close enough to... that it'll trigger it. Fertilizer I've been buying up here and hauling back to the farm because it's so much cheaper here than I can buy through my buy sell or my buy point. Don't know why. Don't quite understand why I can't buy it through the buy point. We're supposed to get a discount. I think it has something to do with market value. Oh, I'm just riding the struggle bus here to get this filled. But that's where the pickup comes in handy. The truck we got, we can run up here and grab it quick and take it to the field if we have to. But that's where I've been up to. Probably more like this. You know, this series is probably going to turn into more one or two videos per year. Because a lot of this is just going to be the same. You know, after we get done with this cotton harvest, it's going to be a lot of cotton and silage. So I don't know how to change that or spice it up. If you guys have any ideas, let me know below. So right now we're just hard on wood, cotton, and silage. So I'm going to make sure I change this to grass before we get over there and start planting something we don't want to plant. But yeah, I might buy these two fields here too in the spring is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. I think I want to save my money rather than buying that second harvester right now. We really don't need that second harvester for another year. One harvester is fine to do these two fields. But when we start getting up to 4, 5, 6 fields of this, we're going to be better off having an extra harvester or even two. You know, just knock it out quick. Especially if we can get them used. They don't lose that much value. We have the mechanic to keep them fixed, so we might as well go with a couple. You know, if we get it used, we're getting two for the price of one. But like I said, I do think we'll eventually change all three of these out. All three of these silage fields we have, they'll all become cotton. They'll become cotton. I think this field 91 is another field we'll buy. Like I said, 78, 79. 69 is another good size field. You are paying a lot for some extra dead space. All these are kind of that way. But yeah, that's what I'm probably thinking. 69, 79, 78, 91. Converting all of these to cotton. And then just kind of see where we're at. If that's enough, great. As far as the second farm, I think we're going up here. I know I said the third farm's going to own the biomass plant, which is right here. But the canning factory's right here. These are really nice, square, flat fields. So I kind of want a flat field for long grain rice. We need to plant long grain, and regular rice. So for rice, we're gonna have to make the patties and the water, and I haven't done that yet, but looking at it, it looks like it's gonna be much easier if we're doing flat area that we can flood rather than trying to do it elsewhere. So that's the plan right now. But yeah, I think we'll jump down here. We'll disconnect this tractor. It's just sitting here picking up, and we'll start planting some of them trees. As you can see, we planted these and they didn't look like oak. You can't tell because they didn't say, but they are oak now that they got to the second growth stage. So we still have a few trees up there. The mill is full, but these oak trees take 2 years to grow, so I want to start getting them in, a few. Now we don't need a ton of them. Oak trees, if I remember right, like one oak tree when it's fully grown will run our mill for a month. So essentially we need, 24 of them planted at a time. Keep turning it over. So, and you can see that the garage is being constructed. It's going good. Like I said, I think I've got all the supplies in there, but sometimes you just got to keep an eye on that. Look to make sure, because sometimes it does use a few extra beams or planks, so you got to keep stocking and filling it. But I'm trying to think where all I want these. I think I will put a few behind the yeah, I was going to say, I do want a little bit of a gap because we need to be able to drag trees between these. That's the only thing I'm a little afraid of, is I don't want them too close that we can't. I mean, right now, of course, you can drag it over, but eventually these are going to start growing a little. So I think I'll leave. I'm not sure. I should have put that one down, and I might take it out when it first grows. And those two will be the first to grow, but I probably wouldn't put another row there. I probably should have left it a little wider and come over here. So something about here. Like I say, we don't need a ton of these, but we'll get a good stand of them started, planted in here, and then like I say, we still got more up here. As we get those, we'll fill in those up there with more trees, saplings. But for right now, if we can get these started, they can be 6 months ahead, which is what we need to do. Just keep alternating plantings. We don't need to come in here and plant all 25 or 50, however many we're going to fit in here at once. Spread it out over several plantings so that we always have a crop of new oaks coming up. So it's Sunday the 19th as I'm recording this. Really hoping that tomorrow, Monday, that Giants finally starts giving us some mods. They've been really stingy for being back for 2 weeks. I've got ideas for another series that I want to get to. Like I said, this one's going to end up being, updates every year on it or so. So I'm probably going to cut back the amount of these I'm putting out a week once I can do another series. But I kind of want a different map. I've thought about doing Frontier, but I think I'll wait and see what other maps come out and what other mods before I start another series. So I'm just kind of hoping, giving it a couple weeks for them to crank out some mods and give me a better idea of which way I want to go. But let that there. So that's a pretty good little start to trees. Like I said, once we get those others cut out, we'll go back up in there and put more in. Because these sawmills, like I said before, crazy good. You know, you're talking this thing's producing maybe 35 to 40K a day. Now that'll go down as and it has as we've the playground's not taking everything. It's the best paying, and eventually we'll turn it on auto. But even if this thing makes you 25 grand a day, I mean that's 300K a year for something that you have to fill maybe 2 to 3 times a year. So, and if you set yourself up a nice little tree farm like this, it's an easy enough money maker. So yeah, we're gonna try this with this planted field. Like I said, I'm hoping it's gonna work. What happens is basically we should see a crop in December. Instead of normally you would just see this in December and you would see this again in next March, just where it's been harvested, and it doesn't actually start growing till April. So we'll try this. We'll probably get all this done and find out all this is a glitch and Giants fix it. But for right now, we're going to try it and go from there. Let's head back and take a look how we're coming along with this cotton harvest. Yeah, we do need to go get a cotton trailer. We haven't bought that yet. I believe that's way down here. Let's see, forestry, special crops, cotton transport. I think this is the one we want. I think this semi will do 2 bales, but we don't have a truck yet, and I think we're fine. We're right next to, we don't have to travel very far for any of this anyway, so I think for now we'll just go with this. Some tire choices. Yeah. We'll buy this. And I've already got a tractor up at the shop waiting for it. I'll grab it and head back to the cotton field. By the time I get there, that bale should be ready to kick out and we can go on from there. Okay, I got the cotton trailer back. This guy is about ready to have a bale. I don't think the AI worker will kick the bale out automatically. I don't even know if I have the automatic turned on, I guess. Maybe it would if I did. I guess we'll see here in a second. Once it gets to 100. But I assume I'm gonna have to. No, looks like he's probably gonna kick it out. That's great. As you can see from my series, I love a lot of this automated stuff, and especially if we're gonna get into fields and fields of this cotton, we're gonna need to be automated. Okay. Took me a while there. I'm sure it was instant for you, but I had a little bit of a delay I had to take care of. But let's get this thing loaded. If I remember right, I did one contract of cotton before, so that's my whole experience with cotton. This trailer just tilts, if I remember right. Basically, when you back it under, yeah, it picks it up. It's nice and easy. Just gotta be able to back it up, which is not always the easiest thing for me to do. Like I said, this is the rope factory right in front of us, but as of now, we don't own it. So I want to make sure we buy it before we run over there and give it this and it just pays us for the cotton rather than start making some rope. So it's going to be 300K. Let's go ahead and buy it. I haven't delivered anything here, so I'll have to see where the triggers are. That looks like right there. There we go. So let's go into our productions. We got the rope maker. I think we're going to want to, yeah, we're definitely going to want to store it. We just need to activate. So it's a 20,000 pound bale. And we're going to get 192 cycles a month. Yeah. So we'll get this going. Like I said, we're going to take all this rope to start with is going to go up to the playground. We'll decide what to do after that. But we got that one done. I think we'll park this down here, wait on that second bell. While we're waiting, we'll run up to the home place, see about putting down a spinnery. I think I want to do that up here, the spinnery and the tailor shop, but I might wait on the tailor shop. For right now, we just might put in a spinnery, because there again, the fabric coming out of it is going to go to the playground until we fill that. And I'm kind of thinking just right over here, having a spinnery and the tailor shop. I think, not real sure how it's gonna fit, but start like we always do with this. Let's shut off our saves, save the game in case we screw up placing it down. Come over here, production. Yeah, there's just, is there two different spinneries? Which one do I want? Well, that one definitely has more of an industrial vibe to it. I think I like this one a little better. Kind of looks more just like a house. We probably want it, even though that thing's not going to be there super long yet, we probably want to move it over a little. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want that there or if I'm better off flipping it around and putting it over here. Well, for one thing, we need to flip this around because all of our triggers are on this side. I think I'm probably fine having it just right over here. And I think we'll get rid of that. Try and put it back as far as we can. I think that'll be good. It'll give us plenty of room still to get in there and get our wood out. Let's see what that looks like. We might have to do some landscaping over here where this falls off. This whole area we might bring up, though. It just for some reason tapers down there where that shed used to be. Yeah, it should be pretty easy to come in here, drop our bale off. So we do want to go in there and turn that production. So our spinnery for cotton, we do want to activate it. Loud, but looks good. Yeah, I like that. Then, like I said, maybe we'll put the tailor shop. I can't remember how it set up either. I guess we could look at that right now. Just don't place it. But we do have 2 of those as well. Now this one has a trigger on that side, but okay. So both of them are on the one side. I like that. I believe this other one, if I remember right, from this is the one I think that's on the map currently. Yeah, they're on the opposite side. I think I want them. I think I would rather go with this one. So that both are on one side. I almost feel like putting it there, but there again, is it going to mess with the? I think it makes more sense to go over here against the fence. Oh, but there again, do I want to spend that? That's $240,000 right now. I think I'll wait. I think we'll save that money, that $240,000. We're going to buy land in April or March. So this we don't really need right yet. We're only going to have so much cotton this year anyway, until we start getting some more fields. But that gives us an idea. I do think we'll put it up next to that fence, though. Okay, so we got that down. I guess now it's a matter of running down and getting another bale and putting it in the spinnery when it comes out. Okay, let's grab another. Just kicked out another cotton bale. Let's grab it, take it up home, and stick it in the spinnery, and so we can have the spinnery and the rope factory going. I really do like this cotton. It seems super simple. I mean, this is a pretty big field, and it's only kicked. I mean, it's only, these are worth quite a bit, but it's kicked 2 bales off of it, so it's a pretty simple process. Not a lot to do. You know, big field like that. If you're using AI workers, it can be automated pretty easy. You know, we're only gonna have to pick up. I don't know if that thing will make a 3rd bale or not, but there again, I had talked about needing 30 bales, I think, a year. That's going to take a lot of fields to be able to pull that off. If that big a field is only going to produce 2 to 3. So we may have to look at sheep again. I know cotton gives you a better return out of here. It's like it does more, but at the same time, do sheep produce more wool? How many sheep would it take to keep a spinnery full? That type of thing. So, but anyway, we got the spinnery going, the ropes going. I did run down and grab that fertilizer with the truck. So we're good to go. We're just going to finish this cotton harvest. We've already got 1 field of grass replanted. The new seeder is so much better, so much faster, so I do like that. Since we're going to be replanting them every year, it makes sense. And like I said, with only 3 bales coming off this field, we are definitely going to need to expand the cotton to be able to run these factories even remotely close to half full. So might be a pipe dream, but we'll have to try. So we're gonna finish up this field, move on to the next field, and go from there. We got our last bell here. As you can see, it's well, I guess you can't see. It's not a full bell. It's about 19,000 compared to 20,000 liters. So both them fields were almost identical in what they produced. They both produced just under 2.5 bales. So we got 4 full bales off of it, plus this one that's just 1,000 liters, maybe 2,000 liters short. So if we want to do 30 a month, that's going to take a crazy amount of fields. So I don't know if that's something we're going to do or not, to be honest. But for now, I unloaded all of them but the one in the spinnery. So the rope factory has got the most of them. It's got almost 4 of them. So the reason I did that is looking at the playground, which is the project we want to complete. This the rope is about takes about 10 times about as much rope as it does fabric. So that, and the more I looked into the numbers, I think there's a good chance that we won't keep the rope factory. We'll end up selling it. So I just want to get those hammered, get them done, get it sold off, and focus on the spinneries. So, but I think for now, we got these fields done, just fertilizing them. Probably gonna jump ahead till April. Get all of our wood sold off in between now and then, and uh, anything else that we might have. I know we got a batch of silo from this month that needs to be sold off. Just see what we have for land and uh, see what we can buy to plant back to cotton next year. How much of this we can buy. So we'll do that and just see how much land we can buy in February. I mean, not April. Okay, so we've jumped ahead to February. Sold all the wood chips, the wood, all the wood that we've had in between. Silage, sold all that silage. So you see we're sitting at 780 million or 780,000. And what I have on here is the rope and the fabric that we got. This was all of the cotton bales got converted into this. So this is basically our cotton harvest, and I just thought I'd bring everyone back to go see what we get for the first time, take it up to the playground, and they should be able to get started on that constructible now because it's been held up for 3 years because of the rope. We've been providing plenty of wood for it, but hopefully now it gets started. I think this load has about half the fabric it needs, so we really only need to do that again, double it next year, and we should have all the fabric up here. Rope's gonna need quite a bit more, but we're gonna do this, and then we're going to pick some land. Yeah, 284,000. So I'm not sure what cotton brings when it's at its highest. Let's see here. I guess cotton would be a raw. So kind of like $2,400 when it's at its best. So I mean, and we had what, almost 100,000 liters. So that'd be roughly what, 240,000. So we didn't. I mean, we didn't make mad money, an extra 40 some thousand for those industries, but I think a lot of it has to do with the rope factory. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it might even lose money compared to if you just sold the cotton outright. But I did want to provide all the material for this playground, so it was important to buy that get it done. And like I said, we'll probably just sell it when we get enough rope for the playground, and move on to just running fabric and possibly the tailor shop. So, but I guess now I want to spend that money. Um, so we got $1 million. We're kind of looking at these three fields, possibly this one and these down here. I kind of think if I get all those, I'll be happy. I don't know about this 86. I hate the location and the way it wanders in there, but I do own this field, and I've removed some trees. We could probably remove more trees and just drive straight down one road to the other, but I think I'll wait and see if I even need it. So I think I'm definitely buying this one. Uh, so we'll go ahead and buy that. See what we got left. So we got a $500,000. So I think I'm definitely buying this one. It's bigger of the. Let's see what that leaves us with. So we can still have 282,000. This one would leave us with 100. We are gonna make some money tomorrow with, or I say tomorrow, next month with our wood. So we sell wood every day. I think I'll buy this one to start with since it's the bigger. And we're down to 103,000, but there's no problem buying this one tomorrow. Um, Plus, I also looked. There's a contract for this one um, to plant cotton. So if that gets planted to cotton, I may purchase that sometime before the next fall. But we're definitely buying 79 for sure. Uh, if any of these three get planted to cotton, we'll buy them before the next harvest. But we're planting this one, or we're buying this one in March and going to plant in March. It will harvest 1 month after the rest of all of ours, but that's fine. We can just leave all our equipment down here and knock that one out pretty quick the next month. So yeah, we've huge expansion on our land. I mean, we probably doubled our land in this episode, or not doubled it, but I mean half again. So we're getting pretty big. We'll probably, like I said, buy this and all this, possibly even 75 down here as well. Have all these lands, and then we're going to, number one, I need to pay back my loan before I move to the second farm, and then we'll start thinking about the second farm. We won't be done with the playground yet because that's probably going to take several years to get enough rope and material for it. But we'll move up here, start working on a cannery, all the vegetables that we can that aren't root crops. Establish ourselves way up here, rice and all that, and go from there. But I think that'll do it for this episode. We did our first cotton harvest. It wasn't enough to run the rope factory. I think it petered out the third month after then. The fabric only went maybe just a hair over a day. So it takes a lot of cotton to run those two. But like I said, eventually we'll just be running the spinnery. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.